Hi guys, Gothcat here. I am finally able to record part 2 of the Horny Bard Saga. I had to get a new mic because my previous one had some connectivity issues. Anyway, last time on RPG Horror Stories. One player character tries to seduce another, but upon repeated rejection, the player rages out. And now for part 2 of the Horny Bard Saga. Before today's session, the DM messages me and asks how I feel about Milena as a player. I say I'm fine with her sticking along if she is made clear that the only character she has agency over is Milena, not the NPCs, and especially not other PCs. I believe she also messaged other players similarly. At the start of the session, the DM goes over in general about which characters players have agency over, their own, and which characters they don't, everyone else. Now, Milena is the only person who ever had issue with this, but I think DM did it tactfully by making everyone acknowledge and commit to this, without singling her out. Now, Milena player says her character still feels insulted by Troy's rejection and wants to kill Lady Eugenia, who's Troy's fiancé. Troy player just kind of shrugs and says that it's up to you what your character feels, so go ahead and try, but if Troy ever finds out, he'll try to kill her unless his fiancé already did. Now, our characters serve a noble house to which my character, Adis, is a heir for. Our last player, Silent Guy, who plays an economist named Reeve, is on that house's payroll, as is newly Milena. Troy is a son of a tiny vassal house who serves as swords master for our house, and Eugenia is technically fifth daughter of another tiny vassal, but has spent all her life being raised by the Bene Gesserit. Anyways, the issue here is that if Milena was to kill Eugenia, that'd be a political problem of colossal proportions because leeches shouldn't just be murdering their vassals without provocation. Furthermore, houses Troy and Eugenia are part of had terribly long feud, which was horrible for the bottom line of their liege lord, that's us, which would just spark right back up if Eugenia was to die under messy conditions. Still sounds like a great drama, so far so good. Milena concocts a plan where she first manipulates a well-respected and liked chef of our house to tell Troy to bring his fiancée along for a date. He'll cook them a nice meal. Troy isn't super politically savvy, so he doesn't suspect anything. Then she contacts assassins and tells them to kill a couple having dinner at the spot same evening. Assassins demand payment up front, which she gives them. DM checks from Troy player if he's fine with Troy being target of something like this. Meanwhile, we spend some time on the plot, but that's not relevant, so let's fast forward to the date. Eugenia shows up, looking stunning according to the DM, and proceeds to have a date with Troy. Nothing strange happens during that evening. Milena is fuming, saying that the DM scammed her. She storms back to confront the assassins, who say that the targets being a Bene Gesserit and a Ganaz swordsmaster was pretty important detail to omit, and that the price of the service had a few zeros added to it. Milena then tries to hire assassins to kill the original assassins, but she's broke. She decides to steal from our house's treasury to fund this, which she manages to do because she's working there. the assassins succeed and bring her back her original money. Milena then goes on to buy a hidden poison needle embedded to a wristband jewelry. Next day, when our house has an extended family dinner, she comes up to Eugenia to hug her and sting her with that. Dia makes her roll, and she rolls extremely well, and manages to sting her with it unnoticed by most of the people present. Eugenia then proceeds to pull the needle out and say something like, "Pardon me, darling husband, it appears a wasp has stung me," and put the needle away and leave. Milena player was absolutely furious, screaming that the GM is letting her succeed at nothing and pulling immunities for NPCs out of her ass and preferring other players at every opportunity. I feel pretty shitty at that because I rolled absolutely horrible this session and manages to get absolutely nothing done. Quite contrary, invited a boatload of problems. GM definitely wasn't being any harsher on her than anyone else. Our campaign is challenging, and the rest of us prefer it that way. GM asks if Milena has read the rulebook like she asked her to. Milena claims she has. GM then points out the section where it said being Gesserit can neutralize poisons. Milena points that the assassins also scammed her, and the GM says she let her succeed at stealing the house's money and killing the original assassins. Milena then rage quits from the call. We finish the session under awkward atmosphere. Edit, yes, we are in a discussion about kicking her. Okay, so not long before I I recorded the intro to this, I found out that there's a third entry. As of now, who knows if there's gonna be more, but I am definitely interested in following this little story, just to see where this train wreck lands, But so far, we got a jealous asshole trying to assassinate for yandere reasons. Yeah, Milena is a straight up yandere. We'll see you next time on the Horny Saga, Part 3. Gothcat signing out. Thank you and goodbye.